Yo, what's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, Jay Briggs here from Pickdawgz.com, bringing y'all my NBA Jam session on January 26th. 2023, man. If you're looking for more of this great content, y'all know what to do. Smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, and drop a y'all like down in the comments. As you know, I love going through, seeing who y'all like. If you're looking for my best bets, the ones that I'm placing tonight, and best bets from the top handicappers on the planet, man, check us out over at pickdawgz.com. Click that premium picks tab. And if you're looking for my $15 NBA Jam session play, my best bet in the NBA every night, man, you can click that link in the description. It'll take you right to my handicapper page, man, and my feature play every day is usually my $15 NBA Jam session play, man. We did drop it last night with the Golden State Warriors, man. Hated to see that laying 3. They won by 2, man. It's been one of those weeks for me in the NBA, man. I thought maybe I could get the push, as I've been the king of the push this week as well, man. It's been one of those NBA weeks. I think I have like 4 or 5 pushes this week in the NBA. I might have had one all year. I think I got 4 or 5 just this week, man. Hey, man. I thought Poole may have got fouled there at the end, man. Send it to the line, but hey, man, it happens. Loss. We move on to tonight, man. We try to get back on track. We try to start the weekend off on a high note, man. 6-game card tonight in the NBA, man. So we want to try to smash it per usual. You can follow me on Twitter at ParlayGuyJ. That's where I typically update y'all on late injury news and if my mind changes on any of these games due to late information coming out of the association, man. Like I said a minute ago, 6-game card. We want to smash it per usual, get some momentum rolling into the weekend, man. So without further ado, man, let's try to do just that, and let's hop right into tonight's NBA action. In our first matchup of the night, man, we got the New York Knicks out on the road facing the Boston Celtics. Celtics home favorites in this one, laying 9, total 224.5. The Knicks, man, are still the best road cover team in the NBA, man. They play their best basketball out on the road. Boston plays pretty good basketball on their home floor as well, 13-10 this season against the spread. It's a tough one here in this one, man. New York 16-8 against the spread out on the road, but here in this one, man, I am going to take the Celtics and lay the 9. I'm not going to overcomplicate this one, y'all. I think this is just going to be a perfect bounce back and get right opportunity for the Celtics team, a team that just played 4 of its last 5 games all out on the road. They did lose their last 2 as well to Miami and Orlando. I think they come home tonight and just whoop up on this Knicks team, quite frankly. We've already seen them beat up on this Knicks team once this season, 133-118. That game was in New York on the 5th of November. This one's in Boston, again, where Boston plays its best basketball. I just think Boston's the clear front, better team here in this one. It's not like the Knicks have showed us anything recently that would make us want to bet them. They did come back and beat Cleveland on their home floor in their last one after getting demolished early in that game. Of course, I had Cleveland in that one. It's been one of those weeks. But here in this one, man, Cleveland has only won 1 of their last 5, which was that last game. Before that, they lost to Toronto, Atlanta, Washington, Toronto. I definitely think this could be a perfect spot for Boston to return home and continue to look like the best team in the NBA like they have for majority of the season. I think that's just what's in order here tonight. So in our first matchup of the night, man, I'm going to take the Celtics. I'm not going to overcomplicate it, man. They're the better team. They return home, and they get right on their home floor. So lay the points with Boston here in our first matchup of the night. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Detroit Pistons out on the road facing the Brooklyn Nets. Nets home favorites in this one, laying 7.5, total 232.5. It's a tough one, man, because do I really feel like laying 7.5 with this Nets team, even though they're playing a bad team and they're on their home floor? I do not. They had played better basketball since Kyrie has been back, but let's not act like they've been playing good basketball since Kevin Durant went down, because they have not. And laying 7.5 points with this team doesn't seem like a great idea. They're also coming off of a long road stand, man. It's going to be their first game back. And we've seen them this year sometimes in the first game back off of a road stand, that first game back could be kind of a flat spot, man. I've called that one out a few times this year, and I could kind of see this probably being the case in this one. They've won 2 of their last 5. They did just lose to Philly on the road. They beat Golden State on the road and Utah. Those are 2 really good wins. But they lost to Phoenix, lost to San Antonio. It's a hard team to get a grasp on. And the same thing could be said for this Detroit Pistons team, man. They just coming off of a long homestand. They just lost 4 of their last 5. They've been dominated in almost all of those. Milwaukee beat them 150-130. Chicago beat them 126-108. New York beat them by 13. The Pelicans got them by 6. It's a tough spot, man. We have seen these 2 teams face off once this season. The Nets did win that game in Detroit, 124-121 on the 18th of December. That game, the Pistons did keep it competitive. I'm going to grab the points here with the Pistons in this one, guys. I'm going to be honest. I don't love it. I don't love it. I don't love it. But laying 7.5. It's more a fade of Brooklyn laying 7.5. I do think Brooklyn wins the game, but I think it's going to be on some like late game heroics from Kyrie. And yeah, man, I'm gonna lean Pistons in this one. My guy Bojan might be able to do a little something in this game. I hope the Mavs trade for him, man. I really do, because we need some help desperately. I don't care who we send. We need some help, and he's a real bucket getter. And I think he can get some buckets tonight in Brooklyn. I'm gonna take the Pistons. I'm gonna grab the points here in this matchup tonight. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got your Chicago Bulls out on the road facing the Charlotte Hornets. Chicago road favorites in this one laying 6, total 234. I will take the Bulls in this one and lay the 6. Chicago on the road is usually not a spot I want to be, but they're actually okay on the road this season. 11-11-1. That's about as 50-50 as you can be. That's the Bulls this season out on the road, but I do like the spot for them in this one, and I do think they are the better team, and I can see them taking this Hornets team behind the shed tonight in this one. The Hornets, man, the worst cover team on their home floor this season, 6-15 against the spread on their home floor, only covering in 28.6% of their home games. They've been so bad, man. They've even surpassed the Miami Heat, man. It goes Charlotte as the worst, Miami is the second worst, then Dallas, and then right above them is New York. So we've been pretty much on all these teams, fading them when they're on their home floor, except for Dallas. Y'all know I got a problem, and we'll talk about them here in a minute. But in this one, man, I think it's fairly simple. I think we take the Bulls. We faded them in their last game. We had the Pacers, and exactly what we thought what was going to happen happened. The Bulls, they jumped out to an early lead. They were looking good, like they have been over the last few games. They were looking really good. And then they ran out of gas like we thought they were, man. We nailed that one to a T in that fourth quarter. The Pacers came back and got them. The Bulls just looked dead. They were coming off that Paris trip. Then they played a game the night before. They had it back-to-back. It was just a bad spot for the Bulls in that one. Here in this one, they've had a few days rest, man. They're rested, and they're facing the worst cover team on their home floor in the NBA. I think this is a spot where the Bulls now, after that clunker of a game they lost in their last one, come in here and take the Charlotte Hornets team behind the shed. So simple for me in this one. One of my favorite games tonight. I'm going to take the Bulls. I'll lay the 6 here in this one tonight. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Cleveland Cavaliers out on the road facing the Houston Rockets. Cavs road favorites in this one laying 7.5, total 230. When I first looked at this one, man, I did want to lean Cavs, man. I thought this could be a nice bounce back and get right opportunity for this Cleveland Cavs team, man. They've only won 2 of their last 5. They have played a pretty tough schedule in that span. Now, I will give them that. And I do think they win this game tonight, man, but covering on the road just has not been their strong suit. Cleveland this season is actually one of the worst road cover teams in the NBA. 8-14-2 this season against the spread out on the road, only covering in 36.4% of their road games. They're really good on their home floor. They're one of the best home cover teams in the NBA, man. But they're not the same juggernaut on the road as they are at home, man. And I do think they win this one, but I'm not sure they cover. I'm going to grab the points with the Rockets. I do think this could be the trap of the night. I think a lot of people are going to be on Cleveland in this one thinking they blow out this Rockets team. And I could see that being the case, but I'm going to grab the points with the Rockets in this one, man. I don't really like the spot for the Cavs. They're on the front end of a back-to-back. They play the Thunder Buddies, the Cover Buddies, the best cover team in the NBA tomorrow night. Their best player is also listed as questionable day-to-day in this one, Donovan Mitchell. I'm not sure if he plays or not, man. I have no lean. I could see him playing tonight, sitting tomorrow, but I could also see him playing tomorrow, sitting tonight. So as soon as I find out anything on D. Mitch, man, I will let y'all know on Twitter. But in this one, I am leaning Rockets, man. I think the Cavs win the game, but I don't see them coming in here in blowout mode and blowing out this Rockets team. They've struggled on the road all season. They've lost their 2 previous road games. They just lost their last one to the Knicks, 105-103 in a game they were winning majority of the way. The road game before that was against Memphis. They lost that one 115-114. That's not a bad road loss, but, you know, can't really trust the Cavs on the road. This could be a bounce back and get right opportunity for them. I do think they win the game, but I'm not 100% sure they cover the spread. I think this could be the trap of the night. I think we're looking at a 5-6 point win for the Cavs, and the Rockets barely and narrowly escape with a cover on their home floor. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got my favorite team, the worst cover team in all of the NBA, the Dallas Mavericks, out on the road facing the Phoenix Suns. Man, Phoenix is favored in this one, laying 1.5, total 222.5. Phoenix is favored for good reason, man. They've won 4 of their last 5, including 4 straight at home. This is going to be their 5th straight home game, man. They've just been playing the better basketball. They beat Brooklyn, Indiana, Memphis, and Charlotte all out on their home floor. Dallas is still the worst cover team in the NBA, and they've really been struggling here recently, man, as they've lost 5 of their last 6, including back-to-back losses to Portland. Atlanta beat them as well. They did beat Miami on their home floor 115-90, but they lost to the Clippers handedly like they always do, and they lost to the Wizards 127-125 like they always do, man. So I get why the Suns are favored in this one, laying the 1.5. But all that said, man, I'm taking the Mavs on the money line. I'm not going to overcomplicate it. The Mavs are the better team, and they go in here and beat their arch nemesis, the Phoenix Suns, and in a perfect bounce back and get right opportunity, man. I'm taking the Mavs here in this one. The Suns, they have been playing better basketball as they've won 4 straight. But let's not confuse ourselves. The competition was not great at all, man. Brooklyn without Kevin Durant, not the same team. We've been on that. We've been saying that. Beat the Indiana Pacers without Halliburton. They were even terrible without him. We've been saying that. The Memphis Grizzlies, that was a good win. I will give the Suns credit for that, but at the same time, Memphis has always been ass on the road. They've been that all season. And they beat arguably the worst team in the NBA in the Charlotte Hornets at home as well. They desperately needed those games to get right. The Suns did, but tonight, man, I think they lose to their nemesis in the Mavs. The Mavs are the better team, have the better player in Luka Doncic, man. I'm not going to overcomplicate this. When we seen the Mavs stomp this Suns team earlier this season, 130-111, the last time these two teams faced each other on the 5th of December. That game was in Dallas, though. The Suns won the first matchup this season in the first game of the year, 107-105 on the 19th of October. The Mavs were up huge in that one, man, and the Suns did come back and win that game. It's going to be a good game tonight, even without Devin Booker, but I think the Mavs are the better team. I think they do come in here, get themselves a road win and a nice bounce back and get right opportunity. I know they're the worst cover team in the NBA, and we've been throwing away a lot of money betting on this Mavs team here recently. I get it, man. Trust me, I do, man. And I understand if y'all don't want to take this game tonight. But at the same time, I think it's a perfect opportunity, man. We're getting the Mavs as a dog, and they're clearly the better team here in this one tonight. I think they get this one done. And this is against their nemesis, too. They're going to show up tonight on the road. I'm going to take the Mavs, take them on the money line. They win this game here tonight in Phoenix. In our last and final matchup of the night, man, we got the San Antonio Spurs out on the road facing the Los Angeles Clippers. Clippers home favorites laying 12.5, total 231.5. It's a tough one for me, man. San Antonio has been awful here recently, man. They've been hammered by a few teams, by the Kings, Portland. The Lakers just beat them by 9. But laying 12.5 with the Clippers doesn't seem like a great place to be either. They did hammer the last 2 teams out on the road. The Lakers really in their own gym, 133-115, and the Mavs 112-98. But laying 12.5 is just crazy for me. I am going to lean Spurs. We've seen the Spurs keep it competitive in 2 of the 3 games this season. I know those 2 were in San Antonio, 113-106, the first one, and the one we just seen recently, 131-126. I think they can do it again here in this one. I know the Clippers nailed them the last time they played them in LA, 119-97, but I don't feel like laying 12.5 with this Clippers team right now, man. I think they do win the game. I think they win it pretty comfortably as well, but I could see a 8-point win for the Clippers here in this one, and the Spurs barely get the cover. I don't like laying double digits in the NBA. 9 times out of 10, I'm not betting this game, man, but if I were to lean anywhere in this one, if I were to bet it, me personally, my money would probably be on the San Antonio Spurs. And that's going to conclude today's episode on the Jam Session on January 26th. 2023, man. Thank y'all for watching. Smash that like button for your guy, man. Subscribe if you're new, and drop y'all like down in the comments. As you know, I love going through, seeing who y'all like. If you're looking for my best bets, the ones that I'm placing tonight, and best bets from the top handicappers on the planet, man, check us out over at Pickdawgz.com and click that premium picks tab. And if you're looking for my $15 NBA Jam Session play, my best bet in the NBA every night, man, you can click that link in the description. It'll take you right to my handicapper page, man, and my feature play every day is usually my $15 NBA Jam Session play, man. We did drop last night with the Golden State Warriors, man. Hated to see that, man. Laying 3, they won by 2. Thought Jordan Poole might have gotten fouled on that last play for the push, so I could get another one of those. I think I've had like 4 or 5 pushes this week in the NBA alone. It's been one of those weeks for me, man, in the NBA. Thursday night, though, man, we got a nice little card. We're going to try to smash it, man, get back on the right foot, and start the weekend off right. So hopefully we can do that here tonight, man. Follow me on Twitter at ParlayGuyJ. That's where I update y'all on late injury news and if my mind changes due to late information coming out of the association, man. Let's make some money tonight, man. It's been your guy, Jay Briggs, man. Let's end the week on a high note, man. I'm going to talk to y'all on Twitter. Talk to y'all in the comments, man. I'm out. Peace.